Hi, my name is John.
And I'm Lloyd.
And we are the hosts of Pint of Comics, a podcast all about pop culture. Lloyd, what do we do sometimes on Pint of Comics that people might want to know about before they listen?
Well, sometimes we drop spoilers and sometimes we swear like sailors.
So, if you're okay with that stuff, listen in and enjoy the show.
When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
They have murder boners for this kid.
It's already over budget, Mike.
Yeah. I put the Instagram of me watching the DVD the other night, and he's like, burn it when you're done.
This is a really bad IMDb summary.
Okay.
Dante's Peak is worse than Volcano.
Shut up.
Dante's Peak is worse.
You don't need to start
It's
fights
worse.
here, John. Shut up.
It's dumb.
No.
All right, I get excited.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled Pint of Comics episode to bring you something different. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And you're listening to the Forgotten Cinema's takeover of Pint of Comics. For the next 4 weeks, each episode, we highlight a film that, for a variety of reasons, was forgotten by audiences. Whether it be because a more popular movie was released at the same time, or the movie simply didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. We'll be joined on this journey by Al, a hologram that only Sam can see and hear. Wait, sorry. That's the Quantum Leap opening. We'll be joined by Pint of Comics' own John Amenta, and all of us will discuss what we love about the movie, or perhaps don't love about it, but we'll always recommend you revisit it. If you enjoy these 4 episodes, you can find more Forgotten Cinema on all podcast platforms. Butler, how you doing?
Doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a little different setting, different environment, but it's our show.
It doesn't look purple and black in here.
It doesn't.
There's not enough purple.
You're darn right. Who's our guest today?
Our guest is John Amenta.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Hi, what's up? It's great to be here.
Thanks for coming to a Forgotten Cinema episode. This is how we do things. It's wild. It's crazy. So
It's hey, I'm a listener, and it's interesting to see this happening live.
excellent.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what's the movie we're doing this week?
We are doing the film Outland, starring Sean Connery.
Yes. Well, what's it about?
I'm
Because
sorry.
you're supposed to do a
Sean
synopsis, you
Connery.
idiot. You're
I
supposed to
am.
do a synopsis.
I didn't look. I'm sorry. I'm all messed up.
You're never
It's
prepared.
a new location.
You're never prepared.
A federal marshal stationed at a mining colony on the Jupiter moon of Io uncovers a drug smuggling conspiracy. He gets no help from the workers or authorities when he finds himself marked for murder.
I thought you were going to say Marked for Death, like the Steven Seagal film.
Screwface.
What I love about the opening is not your opening, but not synopsis. But what I love about the opening of the movie is when it was like IO, and they had to put IO.
That's my first note.
My first note would be that there's never been an opening that has the text to a movie that explains more about the place than this one movie.
My first viewing note is that it's like, my first viewing note is like, being asked to read a lot of words here, man.
Yeah.
It's like, holy cow.
I was waiting for them to tell me how many toilets were in this facility.
525 toilets, 400,000 rolls of toilet
They
paper.
were like telling you just like all these people. I don't care about these people. I don't care how many people work here or live here.
7 million bottles of Heinz ketchup.
I came to see a movie, not read a manifest.
So Outland is 109 minutes long. It's rated R. Had a production budget of $16 to $18 million, depending upon where you look for it or where you see it. One of the notes I had was that it had an initial budget of $12 million. So obviously they went over budget a little bit there. Had a release date of Friday, May 22nd, 1981. So it's an old one. It is what, 30? No. Yeah.
41 years.
40 years old. Oof.
41 come May, yeah.
We're old. We are old. Opening weekend, it did $3 million. Domestic did 17.3, and then the worldwide number is between 17 and 20. So that's a little hazy. Sometimes these older films, Sean, I don't know if you get this when you do your movies. It's like you're beholden to whatever the information is on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Especially, I think the best source that we use is Box Office Mojo.
Yes, me
and
too.
they cut off at 1982, I think.
Yeah.
So anything before that is just a crapshoot.
Yeah, and it's really cool. You can dive into that sometimes in terms of like the weekends and like what's number one.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So sometimes we do that. Like I remember, what was the movie we did, Butler, where Beverly Hills Cop 2 or Beverly Hills Cop, which one was like destroying everything?
It was 2 movies.
Yeah.
It was 2 different movies we've done where it was like, guess what came out? Beverly Hills Cop. And it was just
like
weeks and weeks and
consistently
weeks.
number one.
I'll tell you what the other one is, because we do the same thing on our trash episodes,
right,
and invitational episodes. Back to the Future.
Oh yeah,
Back to the Future was out in the theaters for 16 years.
Yep,
and it was number one. It was number one for 11.
That same thing with Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was like that.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, we had that in an episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? In 6 months, it came back.
But that's also, but that's not to jump off topic here. But that's also like what happens back in the day because they movies stayed in theaters longer.
It wasn't
because
like home video stuff.
Well,
yeah.
because they make more money home video. That's the money.
One
right
thing
there.
I also realized is a lot of the worldwide grosses that are just the same or whatever.
Yeah.
It's because I think they just didn't have that same kind of reporting power that like we have in the States. So like, they just don't have the ability to tell us.
I am very hesitant when I talk about internet worldwide and domestic because I just don't either think like they don't bother to look it up. And I can't find it. I have looked for like, maybe I'm missing something here, international numbers, and they're just never there. Yeah, no, I hear you.
I find it hard to believe Sean Connery didn't pull in more money overseas after this long of a career.
That's the thing too. Like a lot of the English movies we did, like I think like Layer Cake, you know, like it's a domestic gross, but like, well, what's domestic? It's it's an English film. So no, maybe I need to rework that. Maybe I just need to say total gross instead of breaking it up because it just, you don't know.
They still break it.
Yeah.
Like the modern movies now will break it down, but yeah.
True. All right. So this movie was produced by the Ladd Company and was distributed by Warner Brothers through Columbia EMI Warner Distributors. So figure that out. So it is Warner Brothers, but it was through a different company, a shell company, probably drugs, you know, stuff like that.
The Bahamas.
So I said this came out the 22nd. That was actually Memorial Day weekend or the weekend before. Because the 29th? No, it was Memorial Day weekend. I apologize. So you had The Legend of the Lone Ranger. I've never heard of that. Bustin' Loose. I have heard of that.
Yep.
Did you saw that, John?
Years ago, yeah.
You never saw that?
I've never
You
seen
have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
1981 to him is like Excalibur time.
I know what the Lone Ranger is.
Yeah. I said the Legend of the Lone Ranger.
I didn't know they made one in the 80s.
Well, the Lone Ranger that we covered a while ago, what, season 2?
Plugs!
Yeah, this was happened too. Yeah, that's a good movie. So anyways, you also had the Four Seasons. And the week after, the 29th of May, you had Polyester. Don't know what that is.
John Waters.
There you go. And then then May 15th, the week before, you had The Fan, not to be confused with the De Niro film that came out.
I was going to say, I know that one.
Nope. Take This Job and Shove It. That's the name of the movie.
Is that where the song comes from?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it's one of those
songs.
I think it's a movie based on the song, which was kind of popular, like 9 to 5. Like they actually did that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
9 to 5 I have seen.
Yeah.
So this movie was written and directed by Peter Hyams. He has done Capricorn 1, The Star Chamber, an episode of ours, Butler.
Hey, that's a good one.
Time Cop, another episode we did. I'm pointing at you, Butler. What is it?
Oh, I was hooked up on Time Cop.
I know the answer.
John?
2010.
Goddamn, Butler.
Oh, that's right.
Is John going to replace you? Is that what's happening here? All right. 2010, the year we made contact, and then Narrow Margin. These are movies he wrote and directed. Narrow Margin was with Gene Hackman.
Yeah, it sounds like a Gene Hackman movie.
Cinematography by Stephen Goldblatt. He has been nominated for an Oscar for The Prince of Tides and Batman Forever, Butler.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Well, wasn't Forever tolerable for you?
Oh, trash. That was trash.
Was it trash for both?
Manster and myself were in the trash.
I got no one on my side. No respect.
Oscar-nominated movie? Come on. Anyways, he also did...
It's a tough year.
He also did Charlie Wilson's War, which I love. I love that movie. Are you kidding me?
That's right.
How do you... What, seriously? You don't like that?
I've talked to you before. I don't remember half of it. I got to rewatch it.
You never saw Charlie Wilson's War? It's awesome. Philip Seymour Hoffman's really good in that.
I know he's really good.
He's
That's
really good in that, yeah. Composed by Jerry Goldsmith, who had won an Oscar for The Omen. He's been nominated for 17 Academy Awards, but he won for The Omen. He also did Hoosiers and Star Trek: The Motion Picture. That's a Butler fave. Mm-hmm. Edited by Stuart Baird, another Butler favorite, who hated Star Trek Nemesis, right, Butler?
That's right.
He is nominated for Oscar for editing for Gorillas and Limits, the movie Superman, I don't know if you heard that, and Casino Royale and Skyfall. He edited as well.
Stuart Baird also did direct Nemesis was garbage, but he directed Executive Decision, which I like a lot.
Yes.
The best part of Executive Decision, which I think we can all...
I know what you're going to say. We're not going to make it.
I cheered in that. I legitimately clapped in that theater when it happened. I was like, yes!
It was actually a cool character moment, too. I mean, in terms of, like, you don't expect Steven Seagal to get killed.
That's the thing.
In the first 15 minutes. So it was cool to actually see that douchebag die.
Yeah.
But it was also cool to see, like, because I'm sure some people probably went into it thinking... This is going to be, a Seagal,
team-up movie,
Kurt Russell team-up movie, and he gets sucked out of a fucking stealth bomber airway.
And that was 96 or 97?
6, yeah.
And that back then, you didn't know everything about what was coming out. So that was
the
nice.
internet didn't go, hey.
I know, it would have ruined it. So I think that's I wish we had those times now.
But you say that now, but like going out of like Force Awakens, I mean, spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it, you had kids coming out going, Han dies! To the entire line of people coming at the IMAX.
That's awesome, Mom. I like that stuff. Produced by Richard A. Roth. He did Summer of 42, Our Time, and The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother. I put that in there because I like the title. All right, so you had Sean Connery as Marshall W.T. O'Neill. The O'Neill is spelled wrong.
It's spelled weird. It should, E before I, and I think it's I before E.
I think it's an English thing. I think that's because I want to say it's something to do with it's not maybe O'Neill the way we spell it is more of an American O'Neill. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely O'Neill. I'm like, wait a minute, why is that I there?
Every time you see it on the screen, because you see it 800 times, because every time he uses a computer, he has to type it in. I'm just like, that doesn't look right.
Who did you ask who Connery was? Well, he's an Academy Award winner for the movie.
Finding Forrester. No, he didn't win for that, did he?
John?
I would say Untouchables?
Yes,
Yeah.
for the Untouchables. Really? He wasn't even nominated for Finding Forrester.
He should have been.
He's also in The Hunt for Red October, The Rock, and he's obviously the original James Bond. That's for Butler. Peter Boyle as Mark Shepard, who's in Young Frankenstein, the 1970 movie Joe, and The Friends of Eddie Coyle, Turk 182, and While You Were Sleeping, and obviously everybody probably knows Everybody Loves Raymond, so that's also. But I had just seen The Friends of Eddie Coyle a couple weeks ago, and it's actually pretty good.
Is that on your Criterion?
Yeah, I'm all over the Criterion channel. That's ridiculous. Frances Sternhagen as Dr. Lazarus. She is in Misery, Doc Hollywood, Raising Cain, but you probably know her as Cliff Clavin's mother in Cheers, and I'll get to that in a minute. James Seeking as Sergeant Montone. I guess that's Montone. He is the father in Beverly Hills 90210, everyone. I know we're all fans of that here.
Let's not forget, he's the captain of the Excelsior, too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
Good thing. Good nerd thing going on there. He's also in The Pelican Brief and Ordinary People. Clark Peters as Officer Ballard. He is from the TV show The Wire. Did you guys watch The Wire?
I own The Wire. Years ago, I bought the whole set. I have not cracked it open yet.
It's definitely a tough thing to get into, but once you get into it, it's really, really
That's
good.
why I haven't cracked into it yet, because I don't want to be that guy that gets 2 episodes in and goes, oh, this is dragging, because I know it's going to get better.
It's really good. The thing with The Wire is that when they talk, the vernacular that they're using, you kind of, as you go to the series, you got to figure out what they're saying.
Right.
They don't spell it out for you.
It's Baltimore, right? The whole thing takes
Yes,
place?
yeah. But what's funny is there's only like 4 or 5 seasons, but each season deals with certain aspects of
The docks,
the drugs, the
school,
ball.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's really good. It's a really good show. Everyone that tells you it's really good, they are correct. Anyways, he's also John Wick, Defy Bloods, and Harriet. Kika Markham as Carol O'Neill. She plays Sean Connery's wife in the movie. She's in the TV show Mr. Selfridge, Killing Me Softly, and Wonderland. And then Cliff Clavin is in this movie. John Ratzenberger. When they send Cliff Clavin to kill you, I guess things are going pretty bad. He played Tarly. He played one of the hitmen. Did you not know that?
Was that Cliff Clavin, though?
Yes, that's John Ratzenberger.
John Ratzenberger's at the beginning.
No,
when
he's the guy. He's the guy that. Shut up.
Well, I'll say this
He's
for
the
sure.
guy that goes, "You're not lying. You're not sick. You're not sick." And he goes over and he checks the dead body when he takes the helmet off. He's at the beginning. He's not one of the two.
I don't know. I
murderers.
thought he was the guy that's walking around with the shotgun.
I'm going to agree, because the guy with the shotgun that gets decompressed in the tunnel.
Yeah, I thought that was him.
That's the British guy from
Okay.
Jaws 3D. If you've ever seen that, he's the sidekick,
Well-
and he talks like this in Jaws. He's got a real limey accent.
I'm not giving Ratzenberger credit here because he's in one scene, so fuck him.
He's
out.
got lines. He's got dialogue.
No,
The
too bad.
murderers don't have any dialogue.
He's out. I thought I thought it was the dude walking. I thought it was that guy. I thought it was the killer.
You're all pointing at me for movies that I haven't even just watched
Whatever.
recently. You just watched this one.
Do you want me to start coming to your recordings and just sitting aside Butler
Got-
just
be
in
the
case?
background.
Well,
John, get in here. Get in here.
You'll have to
He's
understand
the
though,
authority.
he comes 2 hours late to recording, so we'll be
okay.
sitting around for a while. All right, so my last fact before we get into the movie was that this film was Academy Award nominee for Best Sound. And as I like to do on the show, usually with Butler, is that I'd like to give you the other nominees and you tell me who won. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Because they lost. You're going to know who won. Pennies from Heaven, Reds, Raiders of the Lost Ark, or On Golden Pond.
Well,
It's got to be on Golden Pond.
Exactly. You're right.
yeah, I'm going to go with Raiders.
It's Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost
No,
Ark.
don't fucking ever do that. That makes me so fucking mad.
Calm
dude.
down. I agree. I agree with that. But when you go online, that's how they have it.
Oh,
It's all
even
over
like
the place.
like a lot of times when you see newer posters or the Blu-ray comes out now, it says that on it.
Yep.
That pisses me off to no fucking extent.
As someone born in after you guys,
someone-
it doesn't bother me at all. It's like
should.
Star Wars having the episode 4 on the crawl doesn't bother me.
Well, no one ever called it, but now you're supposed to call it A New Hope.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
It wasn't though. When
It was Star
it was
Wars.
just Star Wars.
How many people really care?
People.
Is it not the same movie?
You can't change history, Butler. It was Star Wars. All right, so I've never seen this movie. I knew about it.
Yep.
I'd never seen it. Did you guys see it?
No, that's why I chose it because I've always wanted to see it.
Last year was my first time.
So you saw it. You already seen it.
I did watch it last year. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So did the viewing, the second viewing, change your opinion on anything?
No,
Bad or good, or
Nope,
you just
nope.
kind of like same thing?
Pretty much
stuff?
same thing, yeah.
Okay, Butler, what'd you think?
I was going into it expecting garbage, and I came out of it.
Really?
Because I hadn't seen it. No one really talks about it. I mean, it truly is a forgotten kind of film. And I had known that he was in a sci-fi movie. This and Zardoz, which I still have to see. Just for the
diaper?
the diaper, yeah.
Yeah.
I came into it going, this is not going to be a good movie because otherwise I'd have already seen it. My parents
Right.
would have it. And I went out of it going, this was a pretty decent movie. It's not great, but if I watched this younger, I would have watched this all the time. I thought it was pretty great.
So what was the biggest thing, I guess, out of the movie that struck you, that you liked the most? Let's go there.
That it told a regular crime story within a sci-fi environment without being over the top, without going too much cheese. It's just like, hey, we have the story. Let's take it in space. Like, let's show like maybe crime doesn't change, and that's what spoke out the most to me. There was no cheat. Like, he takes out the bad guys, obviously taking out the greenhouse and blowing up the air compressor or the air pressure in one part. But other than that, you could put this movie in any time period. Like, it's supposed to be a semi-remake of High Noon, so it takes place.
It is almost not a semi-remake.
It pretty much is.
Yeah.
Plot for plot,
Western
yeah.
in space, yeah.
But like, it works in the Western. You could place it in modern day. You could put it in space. Like, that kind of crime doesn't change. And I really enjoyed that aspect. And I think you see that a lot in more modern interpretations of sci-fi, trying to tell those kind of more human stories without trying to put necessarily a super sci-fi bend on stuff. That's what spoke the most to me.
Same thing with you. Do you think what's the first thing, I guess, that you liked?
I can tell you, like Butler said, if he was younger, he would have enjoyed. I don't know, because I do know for a fact. I remember being 15, 16 years old, going to my local video store. I remember renting this movie, and I have this memory of watching the first 15 minutes and just going, and just like popping it out and going, that's fucking boring.
Yeah, it's for an older audience.
It's for an older audience. I mean, I'll say the same thing. First when I saw Blade Runner, I was like, what? That's so boring.
Yeah.
I love Blade Runner. I checked it out because it was like during the heat of COVID, watching a lot of movies and stuff, and I was just like, I'm going to give this a chance. Sure. And I threw it on. I think it was on Tubi at the time, and I was pleasantly surprised. It is like Butler said. The setting of it being in space doesn't matter. It's just in an enclosed environment.
Right. It's
space comes into play at points.
Yeah.
But it's a claustrophobic enclosed environment where it's this society that it's kind of like this little minuscule society, and what's going on in the society and good versus evil. It's all super simple subjects.
See, that it's interesting that you say that, because that's not a negative, but I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it doesn't need to be in space. Like the sci-fi in this movie, in terms of its relation to the crux of the story, I was just like, well, it doesn't really, like, if it's like, because he wanted to do a Western. Basically, Himes wanted to do a Western, and he wasn't able to. Like, well, space is hot right now. Let's just put it in space. And it just feels to me, it doesn't feel genuine, but it also feels like I don't need a sci-fi movie here.
I like the space aspect of it because it's not really sci-fi. There's nothing there's no robots. There's, it's like a submarine movie almost. But yeah, like you just kind of alluded to it. 1977 Star Wars came out, man, and 1980 Empire came out. And at that point, if they could have tacked space onto anything,
yes.
Well, this is definitely influenced by Aliens. I mean, from the title sequence to the way that the whole thing is set up. I mean, they just took stuff from Alien, like they took stuff from the set and went, we're stealing this and putting this.
I'm glad you said that, because when I watched this last year, the first thought I had when I completed my viewing was, I went, why didn't they just make this Weyland-Yutani? Why wasn't this like set in the Alien universe? And I thought, am I the only one? So I Googled it, and it's like everybody's like, Outland should be an alien movie.
Is that stuff from people now, like close to like the last 5 years? Because world building is like not relatively new, but there's a lot more of it now.
Yeah.
So is that people like looking back, or is that like back then?
Probably people looking back. Probably people looking back. But I mean, in all honesty, like Butler said, you cannot watch this movie being an Alien fan and not feel like it exists in the same universe. The same aesthetic, the same, the clothes, everything, the uniform, the Dr. Lazarus wears looks like Ripley's uniform. It's crazy.
He should be going on his computer and going, "Mother, tell me what's going on."
I knew that was coming.
Dude, the 80s.
like wait for the mother stuff.
I knew the accent.
Oh, the accent's coming. Oh yeah.
we talk about it on regular Pine episodes quite a bit. The 80s computer, which you find in like Alien and this movie and The Thing, where you could just type in any question on Earth and it will give you the fucking answer.
I always love.
What do they look like?
I always love in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when he's like, "I'm telling the computer exactly what I think," and like I love the way the clicks of the button are.
Just jamming them. Yeah,
it's one of those ASMR things, I guess. I just always I'm going to tell the computer exactly what I think of that. Speaking of world building, so I had watched Capricorn 1 for the first time because of this movie. Yeah. The company the mining company Con Amalgamate, that is the company that he's working for, is actually in Capricorn 1. In Capricorn 1 they're going into space. They're going into Mars, and they're about to go into the ship, and they stop them. Like, you got to get out of here. They launch the ship ship without people in it, without the 3 astronauts. They take them to a room and they say, the life support system that Con Amalgamate made us would have failed in 3 weeks. So you guys would be dead anyways. We couldn't go through with the mission.
Okay.
But the whole purpose of Capricorn 1 was like, in order for us to keep NASA getting funded, we were going to fake the Mars landing in this big studio.
Okay.
It's Peter Hyams wrote and directed Capricorn 1. So I recommend it. It's on Prime Video.
Okay.
But,
Shared universe.
But that's a shared universe right there. They were using the Con Amalgamate thing. So I thought that was interesting. There is a little bit there then, I guess.
Yeah, between those two, it's just too bad Alien wasn't part of it. But.
Absolutely, yeah.
We talked, I wanted to get to this Himes quote because we talked about, kind of jumped off that, but about the Western. So I wanted to get to this quote. I wanted to do a Western. Everybody said, you can't do a Western. Westerns are dead. Nobody will do a Western. I remember thinking it was weird that this genre had endured for so long, was just gone. But then I woke up and came to the conclusion, obviously, after other people, that it was actually alive and well, but in outer space. So basically, he's alluding to that. I wanted to make a film about the frontier, not the wonder of it or the glamour of it. I wanted to do something about Dodge City and how hard life was. I wrote it, and by great fortune, Sean Connery wanted to do it. How many chances did you get to work with Sean Connery? Basically, yeah. It's like one of the things from that quote that I like that he said was that it was, what did he say? Live and Well, I want to do something.
On the frontier?
No, not the wonder of it or the glamour of it. One of the things I like about sci-fi in the 70s and 80s is that it's dirty. Right. I like dirty sci. 2010 is like
it's just extremely dirty.
But I like that because we watched The Expanse, Butler and I. I don't know if you watched The Expanse.
Season 1.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It's a slog a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
And I know they say that you could move through it, and this was like right before COVID, so I kind of like lost touch with it.
Once you finish season 1, you'll never stop.
I couldn't stop looking. I couldn't stop looking at Thomas Jane's hair. Like I find myself
this weird floppy hair.
That floppy hair, man. I was like, what's happening?
That's
with
the future.
Head? Yeah,
that's the future of hair. That's like dirty sci-fi. Like that's sci-fi that I can believe will happen. Like you know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah,
I can
absolutely.
That's why I like when like in Outland, it's just kind of like they're living basically in like these like shabby quarters.
Oh, it's gross.
Yeah,
it's the actual set design, especially of like the common area, I guess you would call it. Where they're simultaneously sleeping, showering, shitting.
How about when like the guys are showering like in full view of everyone walking around? No,
it's like a shower show. Meanwhile, guys are like in their little bunks doing drugs and trying to sleep, and other guys are trying to eat. It's this place is fucking terrible.
I'm gonna come fully clothed, guys, into the shower and sell some drugs. Hold on, I'm just in a shirt and jeans, just heading to the shower, doing nothing.
I don't know about space. From what The Expanse tells me, that when you jump onto space, you freeze. But everyone
after a certain amount of time,
right? But everyone that was going outside and being exposed, their heads expanding and exploding.
You wouldn't do that. Your body is made to keep pressure in.
Thank you. Okay.
I was actually reading an article about that, not because of this, but because like all that stuff like Mars and Total Recall.
Yes,
you wouldn't actually. Your body is not made to like explode.
Right.
You would just kind of freeze or die, or the radiation would get to you.
Right.
You can live in space like The Expanse. They go from ship to ship real quick.
I got you.
Get sick. You can do that. It's the radiation that kills you.
No, I get that. I get that.
But
I'm asking you. So did that affect your?
No, it's still fucking awesome. Okay. It's so cool when they blow up.
I'll be honest. I didn't know that the explosive decompression wasn't real, as you just said.
Yeah.
I've seen things where people freeze. Leia frozen in that movie.
Listen, we're trying to make this a show we enjoy.
I know. I've seen both ways.
Take your Force Leia out of here, please.
As Butler alluded to, how cool it would have been if the guy like just froze slowly, as opposed to like fucking exploding.
Yeah. I thought when was Total Recall? 91?
90.
90?
Yeah.
So this is way before Total Recall. I thought the effect was really just cool, just because of how gross it was. Obviously, it's a rubber dude exploding, but it's still like, ooh.
I like Total Recall better.
Well, Total Recall makes it like with
well, the best part about Total Recall is how he's the main character, so he can't die. So as opposed to everybody else that dies immediately that way,
his face gets sucked in.
He takes about 19 minutes.
He's just so strong. He's keeping those eyeballs in with his muscles.
That's why.
Give him the air, Cohagen.
What did you think of Dr. Lazarus?
I hate her name.
Well,
I hate her name so much. It's so on the nose.
One of my notes is that she's so freely admits she's terrible at her job. Like, she's just like, I'm one malpractice suit away from. Like, what's your problem? I'm awful. I don't know what's going on here. And
I think that's all to like show like him, the marshal, that he's not so great either. Like, you're here. We're pieces of shit. Like, this is not a good place. You're not a hero.
Well, here's the High Noon though. Here's the High Noon in that. In High Noon, he befriends a woman she's she's not well liked in the town. She's got like scandal around her name and, you know, like stuff like that. Like,
Whore.
so, yeah, I'm trying to be nice. And, but so like that's who this character's supposed to be. Somebody who they can relate on that like low level of just kind of like, cause he's like, his character's like, I don't view him as O'Neill as like I view him as a hard ass. I don't view him as any kind of like.
He's a guy that has a job to do,
yes.
and is trying to do his job in a place where nobody wants him to do his job.
Yeah,
but like you get the idea that he was like he says it in the movie. In this one, Connery says that O'Neill character says that he was sent here for a reason because they like. Why would you send somebody to this place if you don't want to see them anymore? You know, what I mean? Like like he was forced to come here because maybe he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah. So
well, he kind of said
a disgraced person.
You keep getting sent, from toilet to toilet.
Yeah.
Because you keep doing the same shit, and I think probably in Con Amalgam or whatever, the marshal position is probably just like you're supposed to take the money.
Yeah.
You're supposed to just relax.
You're supposed to be dirty.
Yeah.
Well, did you like the Lazarus character? Did you like her?
I actually did like her.
Yeah, okay.
I actually did like her. I did not like the name either. I thought that it was a little bit too on the
it
nose.
was just such an eye roll. I'm pretty sure my eyes hit my brain. When
I think part of what I liked about her was the actress who played her, Sternhagen. I just thought that there was something, look, let's be honest. It's a weird thing to say, but like a movie made that time, a woman, of her age, it's weird to see someone like that in a forward role. I don't know if today's day and age, it would have been Jessica Chastain. You know what I mean? Like
probably,
or
and she would have had bigger stuff.
It would have been bigger.
At some point, they would have kissed. They would have
exactly.
It was just friendship.
It was total friendship,
sexual.
And that's one of the great parts at the end when she says, or he says, "You're a good friend."
Yeah,
because she risked her neck for him for what reason? Because they never really make it a point for her to say that she's been like, railing against what they've been doing here. But I guess maybe she's just tired of it, and she wanted to see some change, and she saw that this guy is willing to fucking put some change out there.
Well, I think she also felt what he said when he's like, well, I'm put on this place to do a job. Maybe I want to prove to myself that I'm not,
right,
the useless piece of crap that, I am. My position is crap. Maybe I want to prove that I'm better than that. And
right.
So that affects her and thinking, I've just been sending these bodies out to, space so no one can autopsy them.
She's a strong character. She's almost like I'm surprised because we always talk about on the show, Butler, that there's always in the older films, like female characters always don't get good roles. Like female actresses don't get good female characters is what I'm trying to say. Like they're put aside their love interests or they're just kind of like supporting the supporting characters. So it's like her role, maybe I want a little bit more in terms of just giving her more screen time, but she's in it for like the total of 15 minutes maybe because she's the only one that'll help him at the end, as you said.
Maybe a little more, but yeah.
So
it's really the Marshall's movie. It's really O'Neill's movie.
Right. Just the only thing with that is I found it hard to believe that nobody would help him at all. Like, it's
they're all part of the company. The company could kill you at any time. You're in this pressurized environment. It's not really,
but not
you can't go
one
anywhere.
Single person would help him except her at the end. It was just like everybody was afraid. So many
people are taking that drug. They're all working for the company. They're all in a pressurized environment with cameras everywhere.
Right.
No one wants to be part of that.
Actually, I know what you're saying. I agree with understanding that nobody would.
Yeah.
It is frustrating to think nobody would, but it also gives you one of the best lines in the movie when he goes at the end and he's like, he asked for help, and the one guy's like, you're supposed to protect us. Then he says something about, he's like, well, what about your men? He's like, my men are shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
That whole scene is also from High Noon.
That whole
does the
entire
same
line.
thing. It's like, that's why I'm like, when it says here, like, oh, it's highly influenced by High Noon. It's High Noon. It's not highly influenced by anything.
Well, in all honesty, that's probably one of the biggest things that got Connery to do it.
Oh, I'm sure. High Noon in space.
Here's a script. It's about a Mark. Okay. It's essentially High Noon. We're going to remake High Noon in space. I'll do it.
Well, I love Connery. Connery always has that line, and he passed away late 2020, actually. So rest in peace, Mr. Connery. But Sir Connery, right? Sir Sean. How all these movies that he passed on.
He always regretted a lot.
So I'm wondering if he passed on movies before Outland. He was like, "No, I'll do it. I passed on. I don't know. I don't know what."
He's
movies
probably
back then
passed on a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
he always does.
Do you think he passed on like Star Wars stuff, like that kind of stuff?
Maybe. I know he passed on Dumbledore because he didn't get it too.
Yeah, but that's I don't. I mean,
like that Matrix.
Yeah, what was he going to be in Matrix?
He was going to be the mayor of the town. He's going to be the leader of Zion.
Really?
Yep. And he was like, no, I don't understand it. And he passed on Gandalf because he didn't understand it.
Oh, he was going to be the guy that walks with Neo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't a huge part, but
No, but it's a decent part. Yeah, no.
He was too busy giving interviews and explaining how he's going to smack women in the mouth. That was
classic Connery.
That's why there's the line he says to his son early in the movie when the kid didn't want to get braces, and he says something along the lines of popping them.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like,
oh no, he wants 7 pages of some kind of report.
Oh right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because the way Carol, his wife, leaves in the movie is cold.
Yeah, cold as ice.
Straight up, just like I'll see you later, and then like it's like she's gone.
Gotta be totally honest with you.
I'm really bad talking in person.
Well, the way she does it is rough. I don't blame her.
No,
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to live in that place for a fucking year and not having a job?
The whole time I'm thinking, I'm just like, oh, it's only a year, but then you realize that it's been a year over and over.
But not just at I.
Exactly, it's been so many different places.
Breathing
so
recycled air. She talks about. Yeah, absolutely. No,
their kid has never seen Earth, so I get it.
And the kid is the fucking
he
worst.
stinks.
He's a bad.
Hi, Dad.
He says daddy. He says daddy really creepy.
Yeah.
He holds so long.
Yeah, when he's doing the video chat, I'm thinking 2 things. 1, he's reading it off of something because he can tell he's reading it. And 2, I'm like, I don't care anything about this kid. Please stop talking.
No.
Daddy, I love you, Daddy.
It's doing nothing. It's supposed to. It's in there to make you root for O'Neill when he fights the two.
I laughed. I laughed out loud.
It's laughable.
It's dumb. It's
laughable.
It's not great.
I'm going to sleep through 2 of my birthday. Why don't you sleep through fucking 6? I hate you.
I know. Jeez. The other thing I didn't understand or I didn't like, not that we're getting negative, but we usually go back and forth here, is that the bar.
That's my influence. I'm sorry.
That's fine. No. We do it. The bar scene. Here's
You're
one.
gonna make the same comment I am.
There's
probably.
There's one place.
There's just one. Everyone's wearing the same set of clothes.
Oh,
every day.
not that, but I get that. But also, there's one bar that people congregate at. There's just one place, and also, why are there simulated sex scenes on the bar? Like, why can't we just get? Like, here's the thing.
Are they simulated or are they painted people?
No, those people. They're what? I don't care what they're doing. They're obviously doing a sex show.
They're just under.
They're doing a sex show, but that's fine. But I think like you have this big place. You don't have a strip joint. You don't have a strip club joint. You don't have
that
like
is a strip joint in like
it's
whatever
not.
year this
It's just it's like the one place, but like it's like the one location where everything happens. It's like there's not more than one place in this building.
It's not a huge station. Well, they also have the cafeteria.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. But I just thought there was. I mean, I envision like I mean, maybe this is the type of movie I would make, but I envision like a hallway of just different places you would go. You know what I mean? Like it's not one location where you get everything. You get to drink here. And
it's already over budget, Mike.
Yeah, come on. We started at 12. We're up to 18, and you want a strip club?
I want a full club.
I'm just saying. You know.
I just hate that they go to that place 4 different times in like 4 different days, and the same shot of the same people around the same table wearing the same clothes. There's the lady in the gold with the deep cut V.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's the guy in the hat at the bar. They're all wearing the same clothes in the same position.
In the scene at the end of the movie when O'Neill shows up and no, not at the end. Is it at the end when he shows up and when he walks in and everyone gets quiet and he gets a drink and that stuff.
Before, yeah. Shuttle still coming.
So before he walks in, the dude turns around to look at the door, and then he walks in. It's like you look too early, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wanted to talk about stuff at the end when I had 3 notes. I had 3 notes at the end of the movie when he's trying to fight all these people.
I got one huge note.
Go ahead. Do you want to start?
Can I just ask one question?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so you got this hired killer, right? And these guys are the guys.
Who I thought was Cliff Clavin, but yes, go ahead.
These are the guys. So the first guy you get, Mr. gets killed in the corridor, Cliff Clavin. Then you get the red hat guy. Red hat guy goes in the greenhouse.
Yes.
Connery's outside. He lifts up one of the solar panels or whatever it is, and he throws it down.
I have the same note.
Why would you shoot at that?
Exactly. That's my number 2.
Now, as I watched this today, my sister-in-law was sitting in here as I finished it, and she goes, "Why would he do that?" And I went, what would have made more sense is if Connery did something that made something happen quickly, and he reacted, and even as he reacted, he shot and went, "Oh shit! What did I do?"
Yeah.
He aims. He blows out the greenhouse and kills himself.
My note for that is also, did O'Neill destroy the food supply of
Totally.
That's my note.
Totally.
Yeah. Food supply. I thought that was the oxygen supply.
No, because all the plants are in there. Oh, maybe. You might be right there. Whatever.
You gotta remember, if he lives, he's leaving anyway. So he doesn't
Fuck everyone. But that was one of my notes. And then the other note was like, does this idiot not know not to shoot glass in a space station? You not understand that?
My whole note is shotguns? Are there like really like are shotguns deeply discounted in the future?
They were like,
everyone's got the same pump shotgun.
Yeah.
Were they shotguns or they were like rifles with scopes on them? Right?
Well, no, I think the guy with the scope is just the same shotgun with a scope.
It was a weird
attached
gun.
to
It was a weird looking gun.
Everybody had shot. Connery had like 5 in a row in his apartment.
I know they're the same. And no one's got like a shock pistol. No one's thought of, hey, maybe explosive decompression. Maybe we'll get shot out into space. Maybe we should have something like a taser.
Nope.
Well,
Shotguns.
the other thing was Ballard for some reason Ballard goes out to kill him. Like it's like he's the guy that he asked at the end.
He's the surprise villain.
He becomes a lieutenant. Yeah, exactly. He becomes a lieutenant. He puts your stripes on. Okay, and then he's like he suddenly goes out to go after him for some reason. But before that, he finds out where he is by asking Lazarus, where'd he go?
Right.
My question is like, why didn't you just kill Lazarus? Why did you just? I mean, if you're evil, why didn't you just kill her?
Yeah.
He's not necessarily evil. He's probably paid to kill the marshal.
Yeah, because Shepard does say when he has the transmission that I got someone else inside, and that's who that is.
He's not necessarily evil. He's just he's shit.
Right.
When O'Neill goes out, first decides to take the suit and go out, right? Mm-hmm. And he walks out. The door's open. He walks out, and his breather goes off. Right before he talks, I actually thought he burped, and I'm like sitting there going, "That's an interesting choice." Like Peter Hyams, like Sean, when you walk out here, burp real quick, and then we'll keep going. I'm just like, why is he burping? And like, wait a minute,
nervous,
that's the breather.
Nervous indigestion.
I'm going to. Sorry.
So what else? I mean, I think I'm starting to nitpick a little, which is because I do like this movie because I always have an affinity to 70s sci-fi and 80s sci-fi. Go ahead.
I really like Shepard. We haven't really talked about Shepard.
Go for it.
I really like the relationship between O'Neill and Shepard. I like that they don't. Shepard's like a bag of dicks from the start because of that conversation they have when they're introducing everybody. He's like, "We play hard. We just hope you give our guys some slack."
I thought you were gonna do the line for Starship Troopers.
A villain line should just pop up above his. It is kind of like Starship.
I play hard. We work hard and we play hard. No, sorry.
So, like, right off the bat, O'Neill knows Shepard's kind of like up to something, and it's pretty clear he's smuggling the drugs, and they don't play around with it. O'Neill's very straightforward with it, and Shepard's very straightforward with it, and I like that the dichotomy they have, the conversations they have. They're not playing around. They just,
I question
I'm going to get
though.
you, you're going to get me.
I question that he reveals, especially to Montone, his second in command, James Seeking, like he just out and out tells him, "I know what's going on." And like, you don't know how deep this guy is in.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, O'Neill's really trusted him based on one conversation.
I wonder if O'Neill isn't as aware that these places are as crooked as they are until he's in it. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
You know, now he's learning it. I agree. I love the dynamic they have between the two. Like where it's like, where he says like, I got rid of all the drugs. He's like, did you really throw all that out?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't go, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, did you really throw all my drugs out?
Was that worth a lot of money? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And then literally as he's walking out, he goes, hey, O'Neill, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like it is. It's this great back and forth.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah.
I love that line. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It's a great hero-villain kind of conversations. I love that kind of stuff where they don't play around.
Peter Boyle is an intimidating and big guy, but they don't play off him being physical at all.
No.
He's not physical at all. He does nothing physical.
That's what makes it better.
But he's imposing. You know what I mean? Like you look at him, you're like, oh fuck, this guy. First time you see him, you're like, this guy might be a problem, and he never does anything.
No, he's playing golf.
Right.
He plays it cool almost the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually was a little irritated the very last scene when he oh fuck it, and he punches him or whatever.
Oh right.
He flips over.
Yeah,
like he got punched by Superman.
It kind of was the scene that we needed to see, but I think it could have been done better. How it could have been done better, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
Sean Connery turns around and goes, I've been working out, and does the same pumps like Christopher Reeve and Superman 2.
Makes him play racquetball with him.
You laugh about that, but that's in my new book. I put that in one of the books. Yeah, I had that moment. I was like, yeah, Superman.
I love that racquetball wall. It was all beat up. I thought that was a really good touch.
It looks good. It looks used.
Yeah.
It looks used. It also makes you wonder, like, who paints a racquetball wall white? You know what I mean? I know they are in regular, but like, it just seemed like this one was really...
It lights up every time it hits it.
I have noticed
the panels, yeah.
I've never seen anyone lose to themselves before.
When he goes and gets the blood work, the blood from the dude that died. He's in the crate that's going to be exposed in the space. They're going to get rid of it. Why take it from the middle of the neck?
Just because it's grosser.
Yeah.
He shoves the needle right in the middle of the neck, and then he pulls out what looks like Kool-Aid, which ends up looking
so
like...
clear you can see his fingers.
And it ends up looking like the drug when he pulls out of the piece of beef when he fights that other guy.
Yeah.
They look the same.
The drug definitely looked like a fruit juice of some sort.
I like the computer mini game Dr. Lazarus had to play to figure out what molecule it was.
Oh my god!
I got to put this puzzle together. Hold on.
And then I'm like, why is there a diagram? What is going on here?
She's watching that like nipple go in and out, and she's like, "Oh my god!" It's like you don't understand that.
Wait, no, the nipple's exploding. Now it's a diagram. Now it's back to the nipple.
This is definitely a drug. It's like, are you sure? It's like I don't really fucking know.
I'm not really good at molecules. Dipsy von she just says what the it's like. What? Are you not good or are you good at molecules?
Yeah.
Well, she said she wasn't good at her job.
Well, she also was
terrible
confused.
doctor. She's like, I'm a terrible doctor. There's like patients in the room. I'd be like, what?
Guys, I'm a really bad lawyer. You're a doctor. Oh, shit.
I knew I was doing something wrong.
12 years of school for nothing.
So I actually had a couple notes of the actual movie when it was released in like theaters. Like I have theater notes in terms of like technology. So I want to get into that a little bit. This is one of the few movies to be released theatrically with Warner Brothers created Mega Sound system. Mega Sound equips theaters with additional speakers on the left, right, and rear. And the soundtrack for the movie has lots of low frequency sounds like thuds, crashes, explosions, stuff like that. And they come out of those extra speakers at high volume.
Okay.
So that's great.
Surround sound.
But pretty much. That's great. But when you're watching it at home, that does not work.
It's got to be mixed. It's got to be mixed twice.
Right.
I hope.
This is also the first movie to use Introvision. Do you know what that is? Introvision?
It is.
Are you going to do it?
You're able to have something in the foreground, your actors performing in the middle, and then a projection in the background.
It's a front projection process which allows actors and other live action elements to be sandwiched by a projected background and foreground elements in the same shot.
See, this I could be wrong, but we just did an episode that'll be coming out, I think, after this on Piney Comics, where we did Megaforce, and I thought there's some stuff in there. I thought it was Introvision,
right?
And I thought it said Megaforce was the first one, and that was 82.
Well, this is okay. So the first movie, maybe. I mean, I don't know. This is well. Here's the thing, because I got a couple notes off of this. It's like when you look into the viewfinder,
right? You
can see the effect happening, so you can actually see it. Like instead of like when you.
So I apologize. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay,
yeah. Megaforce is the first movie, I think. And I can't remember the correct naming of the technology, but where they would put like almost like a mat or something in the background. The complete background would be fake, totally, and they could inject actors into that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. No, this is so it basically the plate photography and the live action is the same. You can just look at it through the viewfinder. You can see how it looks.
Okay.
They used this the last time they used this was in The Fugitive for the train scene when he jumps off the train.
Okay. Yep.
Because after '94 they started going to digital compositing and stuff like that. So they kind of obviously the technology. But this was one of the first films to use Introvision. And why I'm bringing that up is that Peter Hyams hired Stephen Goldblatt to be the cinematographer, as we talked about. But he only hired him to just stand aside and do nothing because Hyams wanted to be the cinematographer because he did cinematography in most of his movies. And he hired Goldblatt to be a scapegoat with the company in case something went wrong with the Introvision process.
Jesus Christ.
Right? And Goldblatt was pissed. He was furious. But he stayed on because this was his second feature. And he wanted to learn the process, but he didn't want to quit because it would ruin his career. I sent that note to Adrian, who's a friend of mine. Mike knows him. He's a cinematographer. He's done like second season of Glow.
The first season of Glow?
No, he did the second season.
Just
he did the first season of Flight Attendant. He did the first season of Love Life. He's done a bunch of stuff. He's done a lot of series and stuff like that. I said, like, what would you do if this happened to you? And he was just like, I'd be mad.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, your job is on the line.
Right.
Your what's the word? Your reputation's on the line.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, I like Peter Hyams movies, but like that's a bad move.
Yeah.
Like, oof. When I read that, I was just like, oh. But here's the thing with this note was like oddly specific because at the end of this note, because I get this off of IMDb Pro, it was like Goldblatt was so mad he didn't even go to the rap party. That's one of the few rap parties he didn't attend. I'm like, who wrote this note?
Well,
signed by Goldblatt.
The other actual real reason he didn't go to the rap party is because it was held in the common area, and there was guys showering, guys eating. He was like, "This is uncomfortable.
Come on down, guys. I left the stall out for you, Goldblatt. Let's go."
But I do like it. I like when we get to do a movie where there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
Like I love the theater stuff and like the use of the Introvision. I thought that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know how you guys like that, but I like how the I like the recipe behind the movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
So is there something I might have missed that you guys wanted to talk about? Maybe that you liked or didn't like, or I didn't bring up enough?
Oh, we talked about the incredible screen crawl in the beginning that told us everything about.
Oh man, that was a lot.
I know. Yeah.
I have a review from Desmond Ryan from the Philadelphia Inquirer that I don't agree with. And I wanted to get you guys' take. So he calls it a brilliant sci-fi Western. That's not the part. A brilliant sci-fi Western. In many ways, Hyams has made a film that is more frightening than Alien because he surmises that space will change us very little and the real monsters we are liable to encounter will be in the next spacesuit. I don't think it's more frightening than Alien.
No, it's not. No. Who's the guy's name again?
Desmond Ryan from the Philadelphia Inquirer. This is obviously back in the 80s.
I think someone's got to shove a face hugger in Desmond's room and see what happens.
I'm sorry. Alien is terrifying.
Yeah. I did want to bring one thing up.
Yeah.
I guess it was in the heat of the moment, right? In the heat of the moment where you're in the middle of this life and death fight. But if, like, the bad guy threw the drugs in a stew pot, would you just dump the stew pot over?
Absolutely, yeah. When he put his hand in there, like, knock it over!
I actually like that chase scene, too.
It's a good scene, yeah.
The whole set design, even though we're making fun of the outdoor showers.
Oh, no. It's
a nice
great.
set, yeah.
The set is great, and that scene is great because, O'Neill, spelled O-N-I-E-L, he's only been on this thing a couple weeks. He doesn't know the ins and outs. And the other guy's obviously been there for probably the better part of a year. He's jumping walkway to walkway.
Mm-hmm.
He's jumping between railings and the stairs.
Yep.
And I thought, wow, this is like an early almost parkour chase.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, once we get to the point where he throws the drugs into the pot of like fucking beef stew or whatever, and Connery dips his hand in there. I was like, come on now, Connery. I know this is all happening very fast. Just knock that fucking thing over, man.
Did the opening, when they first started showing, like, the people started, I got spiders, and then the guy just starts walking out of, like, when they first started showing the people that are going, were you guys into that? Were you into the mystery? Was that like, ooh, what's going on? Was that intriguing you, or were you just kind of like, what's happening? Like, what was your reaction?
I read the summary, so I knew it was
Oh, for God's sakes.
So I was just like, all right. I was more intrigued with how little Ratzenberger cared about his buddy. No one believes you, but he didn't even look behind him.
They were terrible.
Shut up! You're such a joker. Let's stop. All right.
Did you feel? What did you think about that?
I guess the first time I saw it, I probably thought, because you get the first one happens, the spiders, then the next guy goes in the elevator. I guess that's all in the first 15 minutes. So I think my thought process was this is going to be half of the movie. This is going to keep happening.
More people, yeah.
And it stops there, and the answer's right there. They're all on drugs. You know what I mean? It doesn't take long to tell you what happened.
So you get that third guy that he shoots and goes, he was turning around. And it's like, he's clearly facing the other way.
That's the other thing, too. I didn't understand. O'Neill told Montone to go up the air, what was it? The air conditioning. Yeah. But with what intent? Did he just to kind of stay there and get the heat?
I think if he makes a move at the girl,
Okay, but he didn't expect him just to drop down and shoot him.
Yeah, because he was clearly succeeding in getting the guy to open the door. Yeah,
right.
When O'Neill goes to the meatpacking plant,
I got a question about that.
Yeah, the choke guard.
Well, not just the choke guard. The whole idea of that scene. So I'm assuming. Tell me if I'm wrong. The bad guys sent him that message to get him to go there, right?
I guess
because here's the thing: if the bad guys sent him to go there, why would they send him to the one that actually has the drugs in it?
I thought that was Montauk's last message. Montauk's last message to him.
Okay, so that was from Montauk.
Yeah, like, hey,
okay,
I think I'm going to get dead.
I had a tough time with all the digital messaging.
It was too quick and too confusing.
I had a tough time following any of that.
It should have been a voiceover. The computer should at least spoke.
Now that you said that, it makes more sense. But then that'd
be Mother. I mean, then you'd be straight up just Mother from Alien.
Yeah.
Or how? From 2000.
Are you trying to combine 2010 now?
No.
Into Peter Hyams? Is this all a Peter Hyams universe?
No.
And we're just living
Sudden
in it?
Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme, which I just watched last week and
also
didn't realize
takes place same universe.
he made that. Yeah.
Sudden Death where I stayed right here, Dad. I didn't move one step.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's
kid.
Peter Hyams.
Yeah, well, that movie's not good. Although that movie's, I mean, I like some of that movie, but like that part always makes you laugh when the kid stayed in the seat and the whole thing's crashing down around everyone. I stayed right here, Daddy.
The helicopter crashing in the middle of the rink was pretty badass.
It's Die Hard in a hockey rink.
Yeah.
The choke guard. Was I supposed to know that he had a choke guard before that?
No.
It's just supposed to reveal that he's clever, that he learns from what's going on.
I actually did like that scene too because literally, the guy tries to garrote him. He goes down. He gets up. He kills the guy, and then he just pulls it off and throws it. And it's not like good thing I had that choker. Or like,
like a wink and a nod to the camera.
No, he just takes it off. You go, okay, he was smart enough to have something on.
Yeah.
Period, we're done.
Which
I like that.
I hate it in movies where people are getting choked and they don't just fucking play dead.
Yeah. I know.
All right, yeah, take the whole thing. Why don't you just pass out now and hope that he gives up?
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way.
No, I know I kept saying that this movie's High Noon, which it is, but also, I don't know if you've ever seen Moon. Have you seen the 2009 Moon with San Rockwell?
Oh, absolutely.
It's the same. This is the same kind of premise. The same. That's the note I have. Would you agree with that?
No.
No? Okay. Why
no. I mean, Moon is a whole nother thing.
Right. But the whole idea of they're sending people to kill him because he knows something that they're trying to keep quiet.
That part of it,
That's
yes.
what I mean,
yeah. But I mean, Moon is almost much bigger on a different level without spoiling it, you know?
Well, I know it's an indie too. It's
right.
not, it doesn't have the breadth
bloated budget.
Well, I mean, I guess 18 million, would be considered bloated for 1981.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about it. I mean, one thing I wanted to do today, and I didn't get a chance before you guys came over, is I wanted to watch the trailer for this movie because I wanted to see how this movie was like marketed.
They're bad, but it's usually
because this is not an action movie. You know what I mean?
Did you see the poster? The poster's got like a paragraph.
It's just him with a shotgun.
It's not as bad as the next movie we're gonna do.
All right,
which has an even longer
calm down. That's next week.
Yeah, next week.
The next movie's got an essay.
All right, here we go. He's already started. Now, let me ask you this: would you want to see this remade?
I have. It's called The Expanse.
Come on,
it's the same thing. It's just life in space. It's crime.
No. The whole remake of the High Noon story that's in this. Would you want to see that? Because they were going to do this in 2000. Don't do this Connery voice.
I was going to say sure. Not everything with an SH is the Connery.
I don't know. So in 2009, Warner Brothers announced a remake. And it was going to be written by Chad St. John, who wrote London Has Fallen, Peppermint, and Replicas. I don't know if you've seen any of those.
No.
Peppermint's all right.
Yeah. Replicas is all right.
I saw London Has Fallen. That was okay. Yeah. So this guy's made 3 okay movies.
And then it's going to be directed by Michael Davis, who did 8 Days a Week, Monster Man, and Shoot 'Em Up. Shoot 'Em Up is the one that I've seen. I think 8 Days a Week was recent, but that was what? 11 years ago?
Yeah.
12 years ago? Yeah, so 13 years ago. So yeah.
I mean, is anybody clamoring for a remake of this movie? I mean, I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to, if let's say they were like,
no one's going to know it's a remake.
I wouldn't want to do it because I don't want to do, like, I'll just remake High Noon. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
because you want to watch a Western.
Well, that's the thing. I think I would change some elements of it. Yeah.
I would imagine they'd have to. Yeah, they got to make it more sci-fi.
I like the idea. I think, of being on Io and all that stuff. And I like the idea of, like, being away from civilization, have your own little kind of like...
There'd be robots all over this fucking
of course.
thing.
Well, you'd have to... I would love it if they really researched future tech. Like, put it 200 years, but, like, make it more real. Like, obviously, they say Io's got 1/6 gravity, and then magically there's artificial gravity in their actual station.
Yeah.
Do something like Expanse has gravity boots, but... Yeah. Like, do a lot of research where it's like, here's what crime 200 years would probably actually look like, and really do the work into it. That would separate it from, I think, maybe what you have now.
We both love Altered Carbon. Have you seen Altered Carbon?
I have not, no. That's a Netflix thing, right?
Yeah. It's done now, but we both love that movie too. Yeah, I know. You know what's funny is, though, this movie would never get made because it's not Star Wars. It's not Marvel. No. It's not a huge...
You can't sequelize it. There's no franchise possibility.
And that honestly ticks me off because I'm so... You joked before about how I'm on the Criterion channel. It's like, because I sat there and I've been like, I got to watch Boba Fett. I'm like, no, I'm going to watch this 40s movie. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm getting burned out on all these things.
Well, the thing is, if you don't... You can't do genre anymore unless it's a franchisable genre.
Yeah, I mean, right. Why can't I get a standalone sci-fi movie that I don't have to worry about watching 4 movies beforehand or catching? You know what I mean?
I don't like Time's Up or the other one with Ewan McGregor, where he gets out of the
island.
Yes, the island. I don't like that. Paycheck is okay. I'd have to rewatch Paycheck. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Bad.
We love Lockout.
Lockout was fucking garbage.
No! Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Lockout.
That's the one John Carpenter sued them for.
Yeah, I know. Of course, and that's fine. Well, why? But here's the thing with Lockout is the Guy Pearce character is so awesome that I wanted a sequel with just his character.
You could put him into yeah.
I love Guy Pearce, and I remember when that movie came out, I was excited. I didn't get to see it in the theaters, and that's a Bassan production, right?
Yeah.
And I remember renting that. And being so excited, and it's easily in the last like 10 or 12 years one of my most disappointed.
Oh no, I like it.
Oh, I hated that.
Listen, I'm not arguing with you because it's flawed. It's extremely flawed. Yeah. I just love his character so much that's.
Oh no, and I'm cool with that. I'm just stating my opinion. There's movies that people don't get why I'm like, oh man, that was fucking fun. That was fun as hell. But yeah, that one just like left me so cold, and I wanted to like it because Guy Pearce is like one of my favorites. I love Guy Pearce.
You know how Luc Besson makes his movies? He basically writes outlines and movies like for like multiple movies at a time.
Yeah.
And he just keeps going at them. So he'll have like 6 or 7 scripts and I'll be like, oh, I'll put that there. Oh yeah. And then whatever script gets finished, he's like, let's go, let's do it. And then he decides whether he's going to do it or produce it. It's like, that must be nice.
Yeah. Well, I did see Valerian and the City of 1,000. And I understand now how that happened.
I wasn't a big fan of that.
But the point of that is, those movies.
Yes, go ahead.
Is that although I don't like them, they're not very good.
Yes.
I miss them because you don't get those anymore.
You miss the standalones.
It's been about 10, 11, 12 years since you've got those genre-type movies that aren't trying to either aren't Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever it is, but also aren't trying to be.
Right.
They're like, this not necessarily getting a Time's Up sequel, a Paycheck sequel, the Island sequel.
Yeah.
If it did $1 billion, I'm sure it would, but they weren't made that way. But now you won't get something like Outland because it's not made.
You're not going to get movies like that in the studio space for a while. You're going to get them on streaming. But see, that's the thing with streamers. I get it. You want more people to keep coming back, but streamers need to kind of embrace the idea of indie film and what indie film used to be like in the 90s and make standalone films instead of just giving me somebody hands in a script that's 100 pages and you're like, hey, can you expand this to 6-episode series? I mean, they got to stop doing that. I think that's why I like a lot of the old stuff, a lot of the old 80s and 70s stuff, because it makes me remember when movies like a brand new movie could come out and it could be completely different and separate from everything else. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the excitement factor around that.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, part of the reason that I wanted to do the whole Forgotten February this time was because we don't, on The Pint, do a lot of movies that are necessarily considered forgotten, right?
Right.
We do trash episodes. We do, people bring us episodes, whatever, horror stuff. But I wanted some of the audience to hear what you guys do.
Yeah.
Because, like, instead of talking about a remake, hey, you know what? If you're listening to this, go watch Outland.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you know what? If you don't like it, you don't like it. I think all three of us are pretty positive about it. Right. Other than, with any movie, you have your things. I actually really enjoy this movie. It's got some issues, but I really enjoy this movie. But that's the whole thing is go check these movies out. I listen to Forgotten Cinema all the time, and there's been quite a few movies that, like, I was aware of, but I was like, until I heard you guys talk about it, I was like, all right, and I gave it a shot. Yeah. Some of them weren't good, some of them were good. But I think that's the important part is, I know you guys talk about it a lot. I don't think anybody's clamoring for a remake of this.
No, but it's the thing, like, Warner Brothers has it. And they own it, so they always get a new writer or somebody that's hot, they're like, "What do you want to do?"
Yeah,
we've got all these movies, and they just want to repackage their stuff.
Wait, Outland 2. He wakes up going back to Earth. Turns out there are assassins on his ship. He has to wake up and protect his family. It's Die Hard in space.
What's funny is when all those dudes started walking off the ship, I'm like, these are all the people that are coming to kill him.
I thought it was going to be at least. I thought it was going to be at least 5 guys. Yeah. I got men.
I love the fact too that they just don't hide the fact that
they got guns.
All right, let's just start putting the guns together. You guys are doing it in the middle of the hallway.
Yeah, this is the camera hallway. All right.
not to sound dumb, but like, Shepard runs the place. His guys are at least not wanting to get involved. He had to have had at least 10 guys that he could have just gone, you all get triple bonus checks, corner him, kick the shit out of him, throw him out the airlock. We're done with it.
Well, that's the other thing. If you had Ballard already ready to go, just kill him overnight.
Exactly.
Don't you have access codes to his? Why do we gotta send people to do this?
Are you with me? No. Done.
If they didn't send someone, though, we wouldn't have the 60-hour timer.
Sure.
That is everywhere in the base, and it's not just everywhere in the base, but it makes noise, which would drive me like when they're in the bar and they're watching, it's going ta-ting, ta-ting. I'm like, who the fuck wants to hear that?
Yeah, the timer doesn't matter because 45 minutes before they're even due, they're like, oh, they're early, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's probably that shuttle is probably bringing all their food, everything else. Like, you know what I mean?
And the next guys for the cycle.
Right. I did not like I wasn't a big fan of the ending when he's got the typed out message comes over IO, like when he's just like, on my way, can't wait to join you. I'm thinking, where did she go again? The space station?
She's on the station, yeah.
Where's that?
Orbiting Jupiter.
Yeah, in the beginning they did tell you that. They're like the nearest space station is like so many miles away.
So listen, let's say this. I'm Shepard. I don't send guys to the space station and be like, I'm going to kill your wife and kid.
Well, exactly.
Stuff like that.
They're definitely... but maybe that goes to show that Shepard isn't like the smartest guy either.
Yeah.
Let's remember, Shepard is being reprimanded by the guys he's having brought out. And they're like, look, if this doesn't work, you're fucking next.
Yeah.
Well, Shepard might not also have any authority to put somebody on the space station.
True. So you brought it up a little bit, but I always ask this to Butler, and I'll ask both of you guys, why do you think it was forgotten? I think I know the reason, but why do you think it was forgotten?
It's old. It's right next to Aliens.
It's old. Simmons is old. Sorry.
You got Alien right before it. You got Total Recall afterward. I mean, there are so many in this genre.
So sci-fi's hot, yeah.
Of dirty space.
Dirty space.
Dirty space. I am surprised it's not more well-known because it's Sean Connery, and it is a good movie.
Yeah.
But I think the fact, like John said, if he had put it in when he was younger, he would have said, this is boring, I don't like it. I would have liked it because I was a weird fucking kid, I guess. But I think it would have been good.
Well, let me ask you a question because you love James Bond. When did he stop playing Bond? Because I don't know.
70. And then he did 83.
Okay.
He did Bond one time after this.
Yeah, Never Say Never Again is after this.
Right.
Yeah.
But before that, his James Bond Diamonds
71.
Diamonds Are Forever is his last one.
Okay.
And he gave the entirety of that paycheck to charity because he hated James Bond so much.
That's too. But why do you think it was forgotten, John? Same reasons.
The same reasons, and this is going to sound against what I just said because I did enjoy the movie. Bland.
Yeah.
It's just a very plaintive, plain story. It's an hour and 40 minutes, or whatever it is, very close to that.
Is it? Yeah, you're right. 109 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guys is on the space station. He's the law. People don't like him. They're coming after him. He's got to save himself and figure out how to get out of the place. It's a very plain story.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's never been a scene that there's movies like I just recently saw Marathon Man for the first time.
Oh, awesome film.
Never saw it before, but I know is it safe?
Yes.
Nobody has ever gone on about anything in Outland. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to make you go, oh, Outland's the movie with blank and blank and blank.
Right.
I've got to check it out. And I'm sure the year it came out too, summer movie. Movies were a thing then. You probably had Clash of the Titans and stuff like that.
When this is 81, so when isn't this Raiders?
Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
Road Warrior.
Yeah.
This thing got swallowed up. This was a movie that I think maybe marketed itself wrong, and
it's too close to all the other sci-fi and genre films around it.
I also think that we all love movies. We all watch movies all the time. I think going into this movie, we knew what to expect in terms of 1980 sci-fi. We knew what we were going to get. Right. So I think we were already attuned to okay. I dig it. I already said I dig it. You kind of like the kind of historical document it is in terms of filmmaking. I think if somebody now is like, hey, check out Outland, it's an old sci-fi movie, they might, come at it differently because they're used to everything they see now, The Matrix and all that stuff. So it might be difficult for them to kind of latch onto that. I think you really need to be in tune to that kind of science fiction. We talk all the time about how sci-fi on the main podcast, we talk about all the time how sci-fi is so representative of the decades that it's in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
There's such a difference between that sci-fi and the sci-fi from 2001. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. It's 2001 the movie, not the year. But so it's just always so different, and it's always cool to see. Like I just said, like for the historical document that it is of filmmaking, that's why I think I like Outland. But I think also that's why it hurts other people because they're not expecting that. They're expecting their expectations, whatever that may be.
Right.
Yeah. All right, sweet. Butler, where can they find us?
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or ForgottenEntertainment.com, as we are part of the Forgotten Entertainment family. While you're there, check out all our other great podcasts we have available, including John's podcast on the QT.
You didn't know that you forgot the name.
Only for a brief millisecond.
Nice.
You son of a gun.
What's it about?
It's about Quentin Tarantino films.
That's right.
The collection, the pantheon.
The collection.
Of Tarantino films. You're on it. I'm on it. John's on every episode.
Every episode I did.
So check those out.
Yeah, well, I did The Hateful Eight. Butler did Inglourious Bastards.
Right.
All right, so that's what I got. I am Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema's takeover of Pina Comics. And you can join us next week as we're still taking over this podcast. What are we going to do next week? We're doing the 1984 movie, the kids movie, Cloak and Dagger. So that'll be next week. Not the TV show. Not that TV show that's on, where is that on? Hulu? Freeform, yeah. Not that show. We are doing the movie from 1984, the movie.
Not based on that show either.
Right. So once again, I am Mike Field.
Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema's takeover of Pina Comics.